Hey guys, what's up? Remember if you like the videos, like, sub, silly comment, share, support the channel if you want. I appreciate it. Thanks. This video is going to be about white noise. And I've talked about white noise before, but I guess it's kind of, I'll talk about it again just because I actually was messaged twice again recently about, I guess Buttmonger is trying to say that he's an OG, I guess, or something like that. So when you look at this picture, you know what I mean? What is really the difference between a guy like SAJAM, Lord Knight, the Jackrabbit, Buttmonger? Is there really much of a difference? And we also have appearances from the lesbian seagull here. We have the Cerebus in the middle, Majin Obama, whatever. And the thing is, a lot of these guys, and generally when you listen to content creators, a lot of it is just white noise, right? Because let's go specifically if we were to look at somebody like Sajam, Lord Knight, Buttmonger, right? Only one of these guys, to my knowledge, is a actual competitive player that has done something in video games, right? And I don't even know because I don't remember the guy when I was winning tournaments. But for sake of argument, from what I understand, Lord Knight is actually a decent player and has done well in some tournaments, or at least he did it sometime. I don't know. But is it not a fact that all three of these guys have spread false information about how the video games you guys play work? Lord Knight was so insecure that I knew more about him than in Dragon Ball Fighters, apparently. He made multiple videos, and he kept changing his argument over and over and over again because he didn't want to admit he was wrong. He didn't double down, he tripled down. I think he actually quadrupled down. He just couldn't admit that he was not that smart about the game. He then later on, remember, just like, of course, people like Buttmonger, Sajam, etc., all these guys who thought I was going to be wrong about Strive, they then put out tech videos talking about Strive and the stuff that I showed was possible and what I predicted how the game was going to work. Isn't that funny? Do you think that, so what I'm getting at there is there's obviously like drastic different, at least I assume I assume that Lord Knight is a decent player from what I've heard. He could actually suck, I don't know, but I would assume, that we can see there's actually a drastic difference in skill here. Lord Knight is someone who actually has been good at video games, again, to my knowledge. Is Sajam ever a competitive player? Is Buttmonger ever a competitive player? To my knowledge, they aren't. Maybe they entered tournaments, but they're not people that are actually competitive, might win the tournament or ever done anything. And like I said, I was surprised when I got, like I said, I actually got a couple messages about it, and that's why I'm talking about it. Buttmonger, I guess, is apparently trying to say he's an OG or something like that. This also gets into the idea that I've talked about. Just because you're an OG, even if that's true, what does that mean? Does that mean you're necessarily good? Because to my knowledge, Buttmonger has never been good at any video game whatsoever. Being an OG doesn't matter. And is he not from Canada? When I was traveling all around America, when I was winning tournaments in multiple games, I remember the days of like things like Street Fighter. I went to many Canadian tournaments. And I've even told the story because I remember when I was beating the best in Toronto in the Street Fighter kind of tournaments, the Montreal guys talked shit about me that it didn't matter because the Montreal guys were, the best, so to speak, in Street Fighter at the time. And that, oh, it doesn't matter if you beat Toronto because you would never beat us. And then again, I said there was that tournament where the best at the time in Canada was considered Prez and JFL. And JFL had beaten Arturo Sabin in a tournament not too long before that, I think it was. And I beat JFL in a tournament, who was considered second best. And then I lost to Prez. But, I remember the arcade went crazy because they didn't think, no way, I would beat JFL, blah, blah, blah. Right? And it was like a big tournament. But the point is, I've been around for a long time. You got to remember, I was entering tournaments before I could even drive. So I remember the days of Street Fighter 2. I remember fighting games throughout all that time. I don't remember ever a guy named Buttmonger that was ever good at games. And if he was actually an OG, I don't even know if he was entering tournaments. He might have just been there for someone to beat. So does being an OG mean that you're good or that you are necessarily knowledgeable? We could look at what's going on again And again, the thing is, I don't even think it's that amazing of a game, but we talk about a game like Street Fighter Alpha. You can go back and look at how many OGs talk about, oh, this is how Alpha 1 was played, blah, 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 blah. When I actually played a lot of these guys in games, did I not beat them? Am I not destroying people in Alpha 1 without even practicing on a broken controller? These OGs that are so supposedly knowledgeable about the game sure have not done anything. So being an OG doesn't mean anything, right? And it gets back to what I've always said, that, it is very rare to meet somebody who is good at a video game. It is very rare to meet somebody who can talk about a video game. And it is very rare to see somebody that can do both. So we see drastic different levels of skill here. But just because Lord Knight, again, I'll take what people have said, that apparently he's been good at video games before. Just because he's good at a game, or competent at a game at the very least, right? Is he super knowledgeable or smart about all games? He most definitely, we've proven that is false. And not everyone has to be good at everything. So you would say, oh, okay, there's a chance for the lesbian seagull right there. There's a chance for the Cerebus's. There's a chance for Majin Obama, all these people, whatever. And just because you're bad at a game, you might be smart and knowledgeable, but we've showed that these guys are often not that smart. And that's what I talk about white noise, right? White noise. Sometimes maybe you just enjoy the content of somebody because it is just a hobby of yours, a casual hobby of yours, and you just like listening to this person talk about the game. Maybe these guys' knowledge, their extent of knowledge, if they're not outright giving you false knowledge, let's remember, when these guys are putting out videos saying that what I'm doing is fake, and then later on they post it as real and they want credit, is that not actually hurting the community? Do you think these guys actually want you to be good at a video game if they're posting stuff that I'm doing and they're trying to say it's fake, and then later on they say it's real? Do you think guys like that actually want you to be good at video games? But anyway, sometimes you might just listen to someone, just might be, I'm like, oh, I'm too lazy to read a fact, right? And that's what I mean. Like, sometimes these guys' level is so basic knowledge, it might just be like, hey, give me a quick cliff note, a quick refresher. You know what I mean? What is this game about? If they even know it, right? But certainly you're not going to get very deep topics from these guys if they're not outright giving you false information. So a lot of content creators, you know what? They're just white noise. You just might be listening to them because it's in passing. It's just a common interest that you both have. Like, oh, this is one. Well, I'm doing something. I'll listen to this guy for a few seconds. Maybe I'll pray to God. He might say something that is true, right? And I'll give you an example. I don't watch a lot of content creators, right? You know what I mean? Because their content doesn't interest me, right? They don't talk about things that are smart enough for me, I guess you could say. Let's look at an example, though. Say, as someone who likes video games, of course I have seen Maximilian's channel before. I've listened to it, it's not like I was subbed to him or anything, but I've just in passing, oh, who's this guy? A lot of followers. I've listened to him, whatever. Yeah, just like, not like, a lot, but of course I've seen a video of his or two, and it was white noise to me. I wasn't expecting anything deep, and I certainly didn't get it. You know what I mean? But, oh, it's certainly passing by, and for, just listening, white noise in the background. And like I said, but then after I saw that video of where he pretended that he doesn't know me, I was like, oh, geez, I can't even morally listen to this guy, even on accident anymore. But, oh boy, especially after I helped him. God, that's ridiculous, isn't it? But anyway, the point is, like I said, a lot of these guys, it's just white noise. And, there's tons of YouTubes that I've watched that I haven't indulged too deep into. Sometimes I've listened to workout podcasts, right? I'm big into fitness, you know what I mean? And so sometimes I'll listen to like a fitness thing. I'm not necessarily sub to any of them, but passing by, maybe I'll listen, on the off chance, is there going to be something that I'm interested in, a topic? Maybe, I don't know, but it's something to listen to. And that's what a lot of these guys are, right? And I just, like I said, I got messages multiple times, I guess. People saying like, oh yeah, did you hear, is Buttmonger actually an OG? Well, geez, I don't know. He could be, but he was so irrelevant that he was just there for people to beat. because unless I don't even know. Are you, I mean, you can be an OG and be bad. Someone's got to lose. I guess it's got to be him, right? I certainly don't remember him ever winning tournaments. So, yeah, like I said, it doesn't matter if you're an OG. It doesn't matter if you're like, okay, well, quotation marks. It doesn't matter if you're a quotation marks OG like Buttmonger supposedly is. It doesn't matter if you've actually been decent at a game before like LK. It doesn't matter if you're just regular Joe Schmo like SAJAM. It doesn't mean that you know what you're talking about. A lot of these guys are just white noise, and that's what this video is about, I guess, because people asked me about it again. The end.